Hi, welcome to The Pursuit of Truth. On the back of the last one, when I was talking about changing the world and this, that and the other, here's another reason why we should change the world that we live in. A reason we all know about, to do with money. You know, you can't have two, leaders, about money is the root of all evil. And we all know these things, and we know that when money and power mix, how devastating things can happen, and how, human beings who want money, want power, those things usually interconnected with each other, and then that leads to wars and all the cutting of things just so that people can make more money, and the way we live and all this stuff that I go on about. Here's another reason to show that, why we should change it. It was from Sky News, as their Westminster accounts. I know I covered this previously, and they've got a new one now talking about how much money these politicians are making. And I suppose in the world, if you believe in, it's free to make as much money, blah, 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 blah. But it just seems really unfair, isn't it? When we're struggling on minimum wage of, I don't even, if we're all up to minimum wage really, of £9-10 and an hour. Is it an hour? Yeah, that's right, isn't it? And they're earning £233 an hour. £233 an hour. I think one of them was £19,000 per hour for giving a talk after trashing the economy and putting us all in the shit. I wonder if I just don't, it just seems like obscene, isn't it? When people are starving and having to worry about their remortgaging and all this kind of stuff that's going on, where their next meal is going to be, being evicted and all this stuff that's happening. And people are making this gross amount of money for speaking, the human function that's free, giving information, helping other people. You're charging that. Anyway, here it is. Judge for yourself.
Hello again. Now, for the first time, Sky News can reveal the total number of hours worked by MPs in second jobs and which MPs make the most per hour. The average hourly wage for an MP outside of their role in Parliament is more than 17 times the UK average. Our Deputy Political Editor, Sam Coates, has all the details.
What should politicians do with their time?
Ban all second jobs for MPs.
I don't have any objection to MPs having an insight into the outside world.
Second jobs divide MPs and often anger their voters.
You get paid best part of 90 grand a year, that should be enough.
We voted them in to run this country, so that's what they should do.
Sky News' Westminster Accounts project has followed the money through our political system. Now we reveal the scale of MPs' commitment to their second jobs. For the first time, we can show you the total of how much time MPs say they spend on their outside work. Nearly 89,000 hours. That's the total amount of time all MPs have worked in second jobs over the course of this Parliament, so 3.5 years. Let's see how it all breaks down. These are the MPs who commit the most hours to their second jobs. Now, some names in there you might recognise. Sir Geoffrey Cox. They've become notorious for their commitment to outside work, but most have one thing in common. All the names on this list have second jobs in politics. Councillors, mayors, members of the Scottish Parliament. Double political jobbing keeping them very busy. And something else we can show you for the very first time. This is the average hourly wage of an MP in a second job. £233 per hour. How does that compare to the rest of the population? Well, it's a lot higher. The average hourly wage for an MP in a second job is over...
Sorry, you can't see the screen. I'll put the link for this. The national average, so 233 for the second job. Admittedly, this is probably an average over those hours, so it may not be a true figure. But the national average is £13.57 per hour. I wish I earned that. And the national minimum wage, do I even earn that? Is £10.42 an hour. So there you go. I'll put the link so you can see it.
How does that compare to the rest of the population? Well, it's a lot higher. The average hourly wage for an MP in a second job is over 17 times the average rate for a member of the UK public, and more than 22 times the minimum hourly wage. Which MPs are getting the most cash for the hours they work? This leaderboard shows you that.
Right, I'm just going to read them out for you. Boris Johnson at the top were 21,882. Elizabeth Truss, the one who crashed the economy, if it really was her who did it, I don't know, does she have any money involved in banks and mortgages and things? Or the people that she works with? 15,770. Alok Sharma, 5,000. Theresa May, 4,400. And the list goes on. It looks like all of them are Conservatives except Ian Blackford, who was 1,218, who was the SNP.
As they work, this leaderboard shows you that. These 20 MPs have the highest hourly rates in Parliament. The name at the top is no surprise. Boris Johnson, now free to spend even more time earning big bucks away from Westminster. The second name on this list is the shortest-lived PM in British history. But that has hardly dented her earnings power, Liz Truss. Her most lucrative work since leaving number 10 has been a speech in Taiwan, paid at a rate of £20,000 an hour, nearly 1,500 times the UK average hourly wage, for her insights into global diplomacy. And that's part of a very common pattern. MPs who've served in government dominate this leaderboard. 18 of the MPs with the highest hourly earnings this Parliament have government experience. Clearly, a very lucrative addition to any parliamentarian's CV. Plans for major second job reforms have frozen in this Parliament. Is it just a matter of time until voters force a change? Sam Coates, Sky News.
So there you go. We vote them in and they take advantage of their position, which their position is meant to be to run the country. Well, at the moment, they're running it into the ground, aren't they, with everything going up through the roof and us all struggling. And now all of us are going to be paying so much extra for so many years for the same thing that we were a few years ago, because that's how we work with interest. Another thing that needs to, well, money needs to go per se, but this idea of interest, where, I mean, I know Islamically people don't follow that, well, they shouldn't do. And there's a reason for that, because you offer something and then you get more back for it. I mean, whoever invented that, how brilliant they were at being able to think that I'll give you this 10,000, but you'll end up giving me 12,000 back because I'm taking the risk by lending you the money, which you still end up paying back. And if you don't pay it back, I'll get whatever I gave you in the first place. Brilliant, huh? Whoever worked that out. I wonder who the individual was. I wonder whether they were philanthropic, whether their heart was filled full of humanity, or it was all about power, greed and hunger. Of course it was, for a second. That's the world we live in. We all, let's carry on voting for that world. Even if Sir Keir Starmer says he doesn't want second jobs, they're still all going to make loads of money out of it, aren't they? And they're still not going to sort out interest and all these things. You know, they'll make little band-aid tweaks, but not the seismic changes which I mentioned in the last one that we all know needs to be made. But let's just carry on and and that's it. And then all moan about it and expect, well, I'm no better, am I? Because all I'm doing is making these things, putting this out, is never going to make a difference for the 3 people that listen to it. I don't know. One day, hopefully, more people will change our world for the better, for humanity, for each one of us, no matter where we are, no matter what box we were put in by those previous to us. Take care, take it easy, God bless, and peace.